Welcome back to the Morning, Noon, and Night Show. Hi, Liza DeGia.
Hi there, guys.
How are you?
I'm doing quite well
So
today.
what do you think about this difference between rip tide and rip current?
Yes.
Rip tide and rip current.
Rip tide, rip
Yes.
current.
What's the difference?
Oh, they would just made this explanation. You were off with Tinsley undressing the dogs. You know, seriously, where they just these guys just discuss the difference
Oh, with the
between a
estuaries
current and a tide.
Yeah, and the reason why I wanted to talk about it and share that information with our viewers is because it's such a big thing that happens around here. Last year, East Hampton Village rescued 50 people from the water, and this year alone, 11 already.
Scary.
And they say 100 people die each year from drowning at rip currents. So.
Well, this is a very nice thing that you've done for the community, Liza.
Yes.
Let's check out this
to save
peach.
lives out here.
Liza single-handedly saving the community on the East End swimmers. All right, let's check out this piece because I need to learn about this.
According to the United States Life Saving Association, 80% of all rescues involve rip current, and they result in a lot of tragedies throughout the swimming season here on the East Coast. I'll go over some safety tips with you as to what to do if you are caught in a rip current, as well as how to recognize a rip current in an effort to try to keep you safe. We're going to try to point one out here and get you to recognize it. If you look over in this direction, you're going to see that there's a sandbar here where those two people are standing. Then there's a deep water trough, and then another sandbar. The water's coming over the top of the sandbar and then funneling into that deep water trough. You can see the water is feeding out as this water comes in over the top of the sandbar. The sand is not stable, so it's going to become dislodged, and you'll see discolorization. On a large, strong rip current, you would see a lot of sand and turbidity. You'd see like a tan, cream-colored outsurge, which is all that sand in the water that's being forced out. We had a 5-victim rescue just yesterday, and as you can see, the surf conditions here are similar to what we had yesterday. There's not a lot of wave action. It's not that big, it doesn't look that intimidating, it looks quite friendly, and yet you still find yourself in trouble. We're back on the beach. I'm here with Andrew Overby, East Hampton Village lifeguard for 5 years. Andrew is going to demonstrate the rip currents and how to spot them. I'm going to have him walk out on this sandbar here from east to west, then walk into this trough area, which is going to represent and is the rip current, and then back onto the sandbar on the other side. Take a look at the way the water is behaving differently. Now he's getting deep. A small child would be standing on the sandbar, might travel west in this case, and hit that deep water area, realize he can no longer stand, he's got to swim. Now he's being sucked seaward, he's in deep water, and he's being sucked out, and he typically panics. And Andrew's going to continue to walk west to demonstrate where the rip current ends and the next sandbar begins. He's now exiting out of the rip area and re-entering that sandbar area. And that's another thing we're working on here, is to raise awareness of how to get a lifeguard's attention. You're out there swimming, you're in trouble, how are we going to know? What you have to do is look at us, wave your arms, flail a little. You know, most people, what happens is they get embarrassed. They've got 300 people watching them on the beach and they don't want to be brought in. Unfortunately, sometimes you're going to get a little embarrassed out there. And we're going to come and we're going to go get you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to send Andrew back into the water to be a victim again. This time he's going to demonstrate what to do in that situation when you're caught in a rip. All right, the current's taking him west. He's in that deep water trough and he's going seaward at this point. Okay, so he's recognized that he's in a rip current. He's now going to swim parallel to shore, side current, till he's outside of the current, and then he's going to re-enter.
Yeah, you can clearly see it was just pulling me out to sea. Realized it, swam parallel to shore, away from the current. Actually swam right into a sandbar, was able to walk in.
Okay, now we're getting into August now, which is our typical hurricane swell season. You got any advice for the swimmers coming here in August and the larger wave action?
You know, if you aren't comfortable or you're not sure, talk to a lifeguard first. Go down, when you get down to the beach, ask the guards, how are the currents, where should I swim, where shouldn't I swim, and what should I do if I get in trouble?
Great advice. Thanks. Thank you, Andrew.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Scary, but
it's
fun.
Scary.
Scary fun.
You know what's so scary about it is, you can hardly see them, and before you know it, you're in them, and you have to remain calm while you're getting sucked out 50, 100 feet offshore. I mean, I don't know if I could remain calm, but you just have to, you know.
I missed the entire thing because I was totally just sucked into watching the hunky surf, the hungry lifeguards with the big muscles, and you know, they look, like I said, they should be running down the beach like Baywatch.
So you're saying a lot of people didn't learn a thing from this?
Yeah, so this segment will be,
to the cute lifeguards.
This segment will be replayed again at the 4 o'clock show and the 10 o'clock show in case you also were caught up with the lifeguards' hunkiness.
Until then, don't go into the water.
Yeah, well, just
Stay
be
away
careful.
from the riptides.
Just swim parallel.
Stay away from the lifeguards.
And yeah, you stay away from the lifeguards. Yeah, I think it's a good thing that people know this, and if people missed it, if they were paying too much attention to other things, just go to your lifeguard at your local beach and talk to them and find out what a rip current looks like. They'll be happy to talk to you and point things out, and
really,
you'll be
just
safe.
go over to the lifeguard and say, "Hey, you up there?
Yeah, I do it all
that's
the
what they're
time.
there for.
Hey, you get off of that chair."
I do. I say, excuse me, are there any sharks?
Is that what you do?
I really do. I'm so crazy.
To hunky
I'm really
lifeguards?
crazy. I'm like,
Are there
excuse
any
me,
sharks?
is there a safe area? Any sharks in the water?
Who's Gene Nathan who's coming up,
Oh,
Jenny?
you know Gene Nathan, and not only do you know Gene Nathan, you have an interesting connection
Gene
you figure
Nathan
out.
was my editor at Connoisseur
No.
magazine, yes, in
Isn't that
1990
exciting? So it's a
or something
reunion
like that.
for
I know
you.
she came over to me and said, "Don't you remember? Don't you remember?" Gail Love was the editor.
There you go.
Connoisseur.
Excellent.
It
Well,
closed.
Connoisseur.
Connoisseur. Shut down, yeah.
Well, she's
Published
here.
a couple of articles. She wrote this great book that's going to become a movie.
It's going to become a big movie, and she's also at Caneos tonight. So
Oh,
people
she's
can
at
check her out at
Caneos.
Caneos.
big weekend.
Let's go to commercials. We can come back with Gene Nathan because she's really got something terrific to talk about. Her new book.
Evil Doll.